on that note of loving ourselves, you've got a lot of followers at this point. I'm sure that comes with a little bit of negativity. I saw you said someone told you you're ugly. And I mean, you're a beautiful girl. I don't know how anyone could say that, but a hateful comment like that, how do you stay confident?
Yeah, I get hate comments all the time. I've even had hate videos from girls at NYU who never knew me, who are like, this girl, I heard this, I heard that. I was literally on campus for like 3 semesters. Like, I was barely there. I think part of it is my identity. Like, my identity is confidence, is loving myself. And I couldn't stray from that if I tried. It's who I am. So it's like when these things come about, I'm like, no, but I'm confident. That's how I see myself and how I'll always see myself. And then also, my biggest thing is logically, you have the most evidence on who you are. You spend all day with yourself. You're in your own mind, your own body, your actions, your conversations with people. You've been there your entire life. So if someone from the outside comes and says something, okay, like I live in this body. I've experienced my whole life in this body. Like you can't tell me what it's like to be me or who I am or what I'm like because no one has as much evidence about who I am than I do.
Hey there, hot messes. Welcome to Success of a Hot Mess. I'm Stacey Isaacs. We're going to dive into candid conversations about conquering challenges, embracing our unique selves, and finding success in the beautiful mess of it all.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on this episode of Success of a Hot Mess. Today, I have Miss Talia Breyer. She is a confidence and mindset influencer. She does a lot of things. I think also a realtor, but most importantly for me, and the reason I asked you to come on today is I love the messages that you are spreading across Instagram and whatever other platforms you're on. And we will get into that, but good morning your time. It's almost lunchtime my time, but thank you, Talia.
Yeah, good morning. I'm so excited and I was so happy when you reached out and I can't wait to talk to you today.
Thank you. So you are not my typical guest. I do speak to a lot of female entrepreneurs, so in that regard I would say you are, but you're a little younger than my usual set of listeners. But I am a mom of two teenage girls, and that is how I found you. You have a very big presence on social media. And why don't you just tell the influencers what you are all about, the messages that you're spreading?
Yeah, well, first of all, I feel like it says a lot about you as a mom, especially just like because my content is all about mindset, confidence, loving yourself, not giving into hookup culture, drinking, partying, just being the best version of yourself, which is something that I feel is so lost, especially on our generation. It's kind of like do whatever, whenever, as long as it's looking good online, like you're set. And so I think trying to be that role model of like, what are we all actually doing here? Because especially with social media, we can use it to our advantage and live the life of our dreams. We can start online businesses. We can better ourselves. All the information we need is online. And so that's kind of what I do. And I feel like it's a testament to you as a mom that like you see it and you're like, oh, like my daughters would benefit from this because I mean, yeah, like there's not a lot of people talking about the things that I talk about.
No, in fact, social media, we didn't have it when I was growing up, and I think it was basically easier at that time. It is very hard to be a teenage girl, I think, and to be confident and love yourself when you are bombarded with, you know, and I love the Kardashians, but like Kardashian style perfection and basically what you say your generation is about. So let's start by, what is your generation called? Is it
Gen Z.
You're Gen Z? Okay, so you're
Yeah.
about like in your 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, so my girls are 14 and 16, but well, almost 17. So I mean, I'm sure you remember what it was like when you were that age, and all you're seeing is these perfect bodies and what you referred to as hookup culture. What is that for my listeners who may not know?
Yeah, hookup culture, I guess, is just the culture that's been normalized now within my age group of going out, hooking up with random guys. You'll go to the bar, you'll go home with someone. It's almost like expected that you do something, and it's become super common, unfortunately, where girls just kind of give away their body and it almost they're proud of it in a way.
That is interesting. So yeah, when I was in college and even high school, like you would go to a prom or a formal with your boyfriend. Now it's like people just go with whatever guy, they might hook up with one or two people that night, and it, like you said, it seems almost like a badge of honor now for the girls.
Yeah, I mean, there's like words for it. Like people have a sneaky link, and their sneaky link is like the person that they just have casual sex and they don't want to be anything more. Or they have situationships where they're just talking and just doing things, but like, again, never exclusive, no commitment, yet they have full access to you. And that's what I preach too. I'm like, no access without commitment. And the truth is, especially for women, no girl wants to give away her body without getting anything in return, no commitment. And when you're that age, and my younger brother's 14 and my younger sister 17, so they're about the same age as your daughters, and it's like you guys aren't old enough to understand what you even want. That's the truth. Even for me, I'm 21, and I can acknowledge like there are things that my 25-year-old self would give advice to my now self that I don't know yet. And it's like having that awareness, like you're so young. And I even was thinking, our whole time growing up, we're always asked, especially girls, do you have a boyfriend yet? Are you talking to anyone? And it's such a weird concept. Like, am I connected to another person in my life yet at this age when I'm still figuring out who I even am as a person? Like the culture around dating and hookups and all of it is just so questionable. And I feel like I had that role model. My parents are soulmates. I have 7 siblings. And it's like, I feel like I was gifted that. And like my purpose in life is to go teach other girls, especially young girls, like how to love themselves and how to be there for themselves.
So were you naturally just a confident teenager?
I am a big believer in confidence is a skill and it's something you have to work on, and no one just has it or they don't. I think it's a mix of nature and nurture. I've definitely always been very fiery. Like since I was little, like I was kind of like starting the fights with my siblings and like getting away with things. Like that's just how I was. But I think a lot of it is nurture too, in the sense my parents are extremely confident. My mom is a powerhouse. They're lawyers, they run their own business. You're a lawyer too, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So they do law, and you can't be like overly emotional or like super, you have to draw the line of like work and business and also knowing who you are to be able to like be confident, especially in a courtroom. Like confidence exudes. Like when I went and watched my dad, like I was like, wow, like you have to speak on what you're saying with full confidence. And it really is human psychology. Like the jury are just humans. And so I think that played a role into also like how they taught us how to be essentially. And my dad would always tell us too, like, guys will want you for one thing. I mean, they were just very honest and like they were never helicoptery and they just taught us to be ourselves. So I think there was definitely a time, especially in middle school, where I was so insecure. I would beg people to stay friends with me. And if I felt left out, I would like fight for myself and say something, but it never felt good. Like, yeah, I was being loud about it, but I felt so defeated and like, I had the worst friends ever, and I had the worst times, and all the guys literally since the time I was in 3rd grade would call me fat. Like I would go home and cry to my mom and be like, they said I looked pregnant. And I'm learning now that like that was not a universal experience, but like because I was so loud, like I was constantly being hated on. And when you're young, I didn't have the skills to be like, oh, like you don't know me the way I know myself, so I don't really care what you think because your opinion on me is not accurate. And so I had to learn it. And I think at the beginning, it definitely started as false confidence. Like you just kind of have to put the mask on and be like, no, say
You
it
got to
again.
fake
Yeah.
it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you definitely exude a lot of confidence. You speak really well. The first video that I saw that you did, you were actually saying something about not having had a first kiss till you were 20. So is that
Hmm.
really true?
Yeah,
And
it's true.
I'm sure it
And
wasn't a lack of guys trying. So how did you manage to get that far, keeping them at bay, but keeping a social life and not being the weird girl?
I honestly, I probably was the weird girl in terms of my actions, but the cool girl in terms of like who I really was. Like I also think people really respect you when you're weird or you do things out of the norm. Like I wouldn't go to the parties. Like I was like threw a couple here and there, like whatever, but I didn't really go to parties. I've never smoked in my life. I never vaped. I had that, even that first kiss. I've never done anything before or after that. Like, it was like a great first kiss. But one thing that I think really helped me, which I recommend for all girls and guys too, honestly, is I had a list in my notes. I started it my senior year of high school. I wish I would have started it earlier. And it was all my list of standards. And people are like, that's crazy because I'm at almost like 800 things. Like, that's insane to expect out of someone. But really, it's just like, this is my dream. This is what I would want. And when you read through it, like, they're pretty simple things. Like, they're not big asks. And like, keeping that phrase in my mind of like, never lower your standards, never lower your standards. Like, I know what I want and I know what I deserve and I know my value. And like, now, anytime I start talking to a guy and I really get to know them, I'm like, wait, do you match the image of in my head of what I wanted my partner to look like? And I have that concrete to look back on and say, oh, you're really not meeting these big requirements for me. And then there are some things in there like likes the same food as me. And it's like, okay, we could get over that. But yeah, having
Yeah.
that list definitely helped. And I also think making it your personality that you are confident. People make it their personality that they're shy or they're this or they're that. Make it your personality that you're confident. I am confident. And then people know that about you to where it's like, then if you're not, you're like, oh no, like I am known for my confidence. I am confident. And then you never shy away from that because it's just part of who you are.
So, how did you navigate high school or college not going to parties? I mean, didn't you feel left out?
It was honestly hard. College was awful for me. I went to NYU.
That's what I
It's
thought.
like,
Okay.
yeah, in a big city, no campus, and it's huge on partying. Even New York City in general, the culture is like happy hour, parties, clubs. And it destroyed me at the beginning too, because I, first of all, like had gained a lot of weight in college. Like freshman 15 was probably like the freshman 40 for me. But like it
Not
was
from drinking.
not from drinking, only from food, because I think drinking and drugs and male validation is some sort of dopamine hit. And I think because I wasn't getting that like dopamine that everyone else was getting, I searched for it in food instead of searching for it in going on a walk or exercising or cooking healthy meals. I searched for it in the wrong way, which I had to learn later the hard way. But there was definitely a time too, especially at the beginning when I tried to fit in and I was like, well, this is what everyone does. Like, I'll try to go to the club or like parties and like it's honestly a setting of like who's the prettiest, who looks the best, who can get the most attention. Like when you're sitting in that setting and you're sober and you're looking around, it's like everyone's looking around trying to make eye contact across the room for someone to notice them. Like everyone is literally dressing up, spending hours getting ready so they can look the best so someone will come up to them. Like putting yourself in that situation is like begging for insecurity and self-hatred. Like you are asking to go and be judged and perceived. And everyone's like, people are so judgmental. I don't want to be judged. But then you're going to the place where the whole premise of it is literally to try to be your prettiest self so that you don't get judged. Like,
I know that is confusing. But another one of your videos that really spoke to me, I was like, this girl was me. And very much like one of my daughters, you said, I did like a social experiment. I tried. I went with friends to a club, and it is the most miserable experience. Like, what is fun about standing in a super packed place? You can't hear anybody talk. And I just get it because I also did not drink. Like now I'll have like a cocktail here and there, but I didn't drink all through college. So I don't know how I had any fun, but I managed to do it. It is possible.
and because it's not real fun. Like it really isn't. It's people are like, I don't know how you have fun, or like those were the best years of my life. And it's like, first of all, let me know how the best years of your life you can't remember. Like that is so
Right.
concerning. And also, the fact that it's literally poison, like it's literally an antidepressant. That's what alcohol is. And it's like, how is it normal to take that? And I think learning to start questioning the things around you, like, wait, do I actually like this? Is this normal? And also, to your point of like even the social experiment, I think at that age, you're not able to recognize, like, oh, maybe these guys aren't coming up to me or aren't looking for me because I'm not being easy. I'm not being a flirt. I'm not looking at them. I'm not drunk, tripping over so they know they can't get me in bed if I say no. Like, I think being able to recognize that, because there were times where with my friends, I'm like, let's just look at guys and like see what the difference is. Like, let's actually like make the eye contact, be a little flirty. And I have videos on this too. maybe you're not ugly or lower value and that's not why you're being approached. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're not desperately trying to get someone to notice you. And so they are more intimidated by that because, of course, a guy is scared to go up to a girl and they're going to choose the girl who's already looking at them and smiling at them and flirting with them and seems easier to get their validation and attention because they're also insecure.
100%. I mean, I have, she would be upset if I named her in the podcast, but one of my daughters is stunningly pretty. She's a model, but she will tell you she's not popular, which I don't understand how someone so stunning could not be popular. But she doesn't drink, she doesn't vape, she doesn't hook up with guys, and I don't know where I was going with that, but I tell her, I think,
Mhm.
first of all, if you look up the definition of popular, I think it means like ordinary, something like that. I said, you are unique, and as you get older, the guys will get it and they will come up to you, but you're probably intimidating because you're not throwing yourself at them.
Yeah, and also you should tell her like, do you want average guys? If you want average guys, there's a whole bunch of them out there. But if you want to meet your soulmate, your person, that's one guy and he's going to be rare, so it's going to be hard to find him. And like especially with being popular, it's like do you want all these average people to like you? You're not like them. In fact, you're probably above them and intimidating to them. And not only are they not going to think that you're popular and hype you up, they'll probably beat you down because average people aren't going to sit there and love someone who appears better than them because it makes them question their lack of. And so she's doing all these huge things. Why, like logically, why would someone who's average look at someone who is better than them in a sense or at something and be like, oh, I love her? Like they would be like, oh, like she's no, she's not better than me. Like get defensive. And most people aren't sitting around doing inner work like, oh, maybe I'm a little jealous of this person or like maybe I can admit to myself that like I want the things that someone else has, which is normal. But most, especially most average people, they're not going to do that. And I think it's a good thing. Like you don't want to be average. You don't want to be like everyone else. So you're not going to be accepted by everyone else and you're not going to be friends with everyone else.
But as a teenager, it's hard when you maybe feel like you're not fitting in with the cool group. But it's an internal battle. I think, well, first of all, there is peer pressure. It still does exist. I remember it. Peer pressure is what got me to be addicted to cigarettes for the longest time because that was the thing when I was in high school.
Mhm.
And I regret ever, ever, ever. It was a boyfriend that was like, just, do you want to puff? Like, regret that ever happening. So I really love that you are, showing people it can be done. You don't have to vape. You don't have to, drink. You don't have to hook up with guys, and you can still love yourself and be confident. So I know that you do offer coaching services. You're basically a mentor. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I've just been starting with these because I've gotten so many DMs of like, can you coach me? Can you help me? And I'm constantly sending voice audios back and forth with the girls. I'm like, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I'm like, why don't I start something? Because I'm being asked the same questions on repeat. And so let me teach this on a broader scale. So I have one coming up this week about how to decenter men and love yourself. And then after that, I have another one. And then from there, I'm going to be launching a course where it's like actually something people can go through. I'm so excited. Like I want to even create an AI that can like give advice like me because I use AI every single day for advice. Like there's so many new tools that are overlooked. Like ChatGPT truly changes my life. Like having a tool there that I have programmed to talk to me the way I need to give me advice. Like you can literally create like a parent out of ChatGPT. Like, can you be there for me? Can you give me advice? Like there have been times because even I have 7 siblings where I need to like leave the dinner table and I'll go like talk to my chat and be like, this is happening, like this comment offended me, or like what can I do? And it literally is just like my life coach because I have a life coach too. So it's like I've created a free life coach out of my chat GPT. And so there's so many things I want to do. And like it starts with a course and social media, but really in the end like I want to be on stages, I want to build community. Like there are not enough things for girls to come together and to learn how to better themselves, and also there's room for everyone to be better. Like no one has to be average.
Yeah. So I was trying to find your very first video, and there were so many I couldn't even find it. How did this all begin? Do you have a background in psychology or anything like that?
It's actually so weird because I really have always been like this mentally. Like my brain has always just been very like, go, go, go. This is the way it is. I don't know if maybe part of it was like a defense mechanism or like coming from a big family. I've just always had to be there for myself. And so I've learned a lot of these things from a young age, just the way I saw the world. And adults have always been like, you're an old soul, or like, you're really wise. And I'm always the advice giver, even to my older siblings. Sometimes I'm like, do this or do that. And I just have kind of come up on this belief system where I'm like, you can't tell me what to do. Like, I know that I will make it work. And so, yeah, once I graduated NYU in December, a year and a half early because I hated it. I was like, I'm getting out of here. And then I was like, I'm doing
I'm sorry to interrupt. You're a native Californian or you're from Arizona?
Arizonan. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I ramble on. Feel free to interrupt me at any time. But yeah, so then I graduated and I knew I was going to do social media. So I think it was like January 28th of this year. I made a video, and all the people that followed me on my Instagram, I had 1,000 followers. It was just people from high school and college and like family. And I was like, just so you guys know, I'm going to start spamming on here. Like I'm becoming an influencer and no followers. And I was like, I'm doing this. And since that day, I've posted like 10 times a day on all these different platforms. And I'm like, I'm doing this. And once you set your mind to something for anyone, like it's a fact to you. So there's no plan B. Like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not getting a full time job. And I even have friends because people are like, oh, well, your parents support you. I have friends who fully support themselves, but they have found a way to work online or freelance. Like, you can do anything you want, especially in this country. Like, there's so much freedom. And especially if you have a phone, like, go do whatever you want. You're not tied down to anything or anyone or any job.
But you're not just an influencer. Like there is a very specific, I think, message that you are espousing or promoting, right? Like you're not just doing get ready with me videos. These are very
Yeah, I actually don't even
empowering.
want Yeah, I don't even want to be an influencer. My sister's an influencer, and I told her, I was like, I don't really want those like brand deals with like that because that's what it mostly is, hair, makeup. And I don't want people to idolize me. And like my sister does a lot of confidence and mindset and all that too. She's not just like, whatever, look at me. But
Yeah.
the social media is just the fastest way to get my voice out there and to help people. It's not actually like, can everyone please send me free clothes and makeup? I'm like, no, like let's gather the girls together and start a movement and a community for all of us to love ourselves more and live better lives.
On that note of loving ourselves, you've got a lot of followers at this point. I'm sure that comes with a little bit of negativity, hateful comments. How do you maintain the confidence in the face of, I saw you said someone told you you're ugly, and I mean, you're a beautiful girl. I don't know how anyone could say that, but a hateful comment like that, how do you stay confident?
Yeah, I get hate comments all the time. I've even had hate videos from girls at NYU who never knew me, who are like, this girl, I heard this, I heard that. I was literally on campus for like 3 semesters. Like, I was barely there. But I think part of it is my identity. Like my identity is confidence, is loving myself. And I couldn't stray from that if I tried. It's who I am. So it's like when these things come about, I'm like, no, but I'm confident. That's how I see myself and how I'll always see myself. And then also, my biggest thing is logically, you have the most evidence on who you are. You spend all day with yourself. You're in your own mind, your own body, your actions, your conversations with people. You've been there your entire life. So if someone from the outside comes and says something, okay, like I live in this body. I've experienced my whole life in this body. Like, you can't tell me what it's like to be me or who I am or what I'm like because no one has as much evidence about who I am than I do. So if I don't believe what you say, then you can't bother me. And I think that's a part of it is I do a lot of inner work. I journal, I ask myself questions. I look in the mirror and I really like debrief with myself about how things are going or how I can improve. And so I know myself so well. So it helps for when people say things to be like, oh no, like I actually already know that about myself. So you can't tell me otherwise. Like I know I'm right because I'm me.
Right, but the lawyer in me is just going to challenge you on that.
Uh huh.
So that may work when you are an adult mind, 21 years old. But how can like a 14-year-old girl, if a guy calls her fat, how can she stay confident? It's easy to say, well, she knows herself for 14 years or whatever, Maybe fat's not a good example. Let's say a guy calls her a slut. and she's not even like, how can she stay positive and confident?
I do think it's the inner work. For example, writing down what did the person say? Why did it upset you? How did it make you feel? Why did it make you feel that way? What can counter that? What makes you feel good about yourself? What do you know about yourself? What do you love about yourself? How can you focus on the positive and build yourself up to where then you can look at the comment and say, oh, I love all these things about myself. And again, I know this isn't true because I'm me. I know I'm not a slut. I know I'm not hooking up with random guys. I know I value myself. So when you tell me that, and if it does bother you, I always say emotions are just information. You don't have to get mad at yourself for something offending you or being jealous of someone or something bothering you. In fact, the negative emotions are where you can learn the most. So if something's bothering you and a comment hits you really deeply, look at it and don't be mad at yourself for feeling upset by it, but look at it and be like, what can I learn from this? What information is this telling me? Why do I feel this way? What can I learn about myself to then be able to come up with different ways to protect yourself in the future and to build yourself up? So I would say if someone says bad things to you, it's not even necessarily a negative thing. You're able to learn from that. You're able to grow from that. It's a challenge for you to conquer. How can this not upset me as much? Or how can I love myself more from this? And so I would say it is a lot about inner work. And I think a lot of people kind of sleepwalk through life to where they're just like, oh, yeah, or they're like, whatever, brush it off. And it's like, no, like, sit down and think about it. Why is it bothering you? How can you improve? Like, ask yourself the questions to be able to work on yourself and get to know yourself better.
I love that. So these courses that you're going to be having, are these one-on-one? Is it one-on-one coaching or like a big room full of girls?
I think it's going to be a big room, and I'm sure there will be times where I kind of spread it out, but I really want community from it because, like I said, when it's your identity, having a whole group of girls who are like, we are confident, hyping each other up, being there for each other. Hey, I did this today, it worked. I did this journal prompt today, it helped me. Like, all these little things where we can bounce ideas off each other and like gain confidence and have this community of other like minded people. I think that's going to be more valuable than anything I could say. Them being there for each other, like I'm only one person. And like I said, I don't want them to idolize me. So I think having each other, and I've even been in online communities where a lot of us end up living in the same place and we become friends from it. Like I've literally made so many friends off of these online courses I've done to where it's like then we can have an Arizona chapter, a California chapter, and then you're able to meet up with these girls once a week. And then from there I just want to keep building. But yeah, I think having each other is the most important part. I don't think it's just like me and like my word goes and everyone sit there and listen to me.
Right. So do you have a boyfriend now?
No, I've never had a boyfriend.
Okay.
21.
And that is, because not for that they're not trying, but you have a very lengthy set of standards that you're just not going to settle, right?
Yeah, I would love to find my husband and my soulmate. And if he did come along at 19 or 20, like it's not that I would have been like, nope, like I'm too good for that. But I also think at this age, you're still getting to know yourself. Like, even this is my first time living alone. I'm learning how to cook and clean and set routines and take care of myself and make my own money. It's like, I have so much to learn about who I am and so much inner work to where it's like I want to be ready for that person. And I think at 14, are you kidding me? I'm a different person for my than I was 6 months ago. Like, how am I gonna know at 14 the person, the most important decision I'll ever make in my life, that one person? And ideally, you make that decision one time, like you're dating for marriage. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But the goal is for it to work out. And I think to make that hefty of a decision at 14 when you can barely decide like what food you're actually supposed to be feeding your body and like how to exercise, it's like I just think there's a certain age where you're just not ready for that.
So instead of partying, what were you doing to occupy your time?
I started a podcast where I would talk to people. I would go online and like ask other like confidence people I saw or people posting their gym routine. I would be like, "Hi, like do you want to get on a call?" And I danced. I started dance my freshman year of high school. So I was super behind. So I was super motivated to catch up. I had so many random hobbies. I even in college, not doing any of those things, I had to make a list in my notes called things I love to do that aren't sitting on my phone. And it was like choreographing like a dance in the mirror, or like calling my family, or journaling, or writing a song, like just like silly things. Especially as women, I feel like we all have such deep rooted creativity and like passions drawing us to them, that if we just tune everything else out and like tune into our inner voice, we can see like, oh, like I actually love doing this. I love coloring. Like that's something I do all the time. Like I color. Like there's so many fun things and way to like exert your creativity, start businesses, like even small things, or babysitting. I always loved kids. So there's so much the world has to offer. And that's what I wish I could tell people. Like, you think it's fun to do these things that leave you feeling bad? Imagine how fun the things are that leave you feeling good. Like meeting new people, having good conversations, dancing, coloring. Like, there's so much in life that gives you that high from within that aren't substances or other people. And then with those things, you have full control over it. You don't have to wait for other people to come give you that validation or attention or love. You can give yourself that love. You can sit there and write down 100 things you love about yourself, and that will give you a high that a man's attention could never even give you. And you don't have to wait for it. You can decide right then in that moment to go get it.
I can't tell you how much I love what you are putting out there. This is like a huge breath of fresh air. I think you identified a need that was in your generation and younger, and even moms can. Who doesn't need some coaching on confidence? I mean, at all ages. I just really love it. Your parents should be super proud, and I am looking forward to seeing these Zoom coaching and courses that you have and anything else you have to offer. Like I said, I make sure my girls follow you. I think everyone who's got daughters, and even, boys who are maybe lacking in confidence, they should follow you. It's at Talia Breyer, Breyer, right?
Yes.
And be on the lookout for everything. This girl's going to conquer the world. I love what you're doing, and I thank you.
Thank you so, so much for having me on. I can't tell you how much that means to me. And yeah, I hope everyone listening or watching any of my videos just knows, like, it's not just me. Like, I'm not some random special person who suddenly has confidence. Like, I worked on it and I take the steps, and you can too. And you can get anything you want in life. Like, the world is at your fingertips. So I'm so excited. And thank you so much again. Like, your words seriously, like, stick with me and mean so much to me.
Yes, from a girl mom right here, like I love the message that you're spreading. I am just glad that you're out there again, a breath of fresh air. Thank you, Talia Breyer. I'm sure we'll be in touch, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Success of a Hot Mess. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss a beat. Until next time, keep rocking those hot mess moments with style and grace. Cheers.